Welcome to Wisdom Inspired, a podcast designed to help high achievers to eliminate burnout and overwhelm. Now let's prepare to open our hearts, our minds, and our notebooks to receive today's wisdom. Great morning, high achieving preneurs. Welcome to the call. Let's jump right in. So we're in a series where we're breaking down each letter in the word entrepreneur. We're discussing the various characteristics and principles that apply to us as entrepreneur. And are there examples in the Bible? Yes, there are. Are there principles that we can follow? Absolutely. And so far, what we've determined is that the E is for entrepreneur and the E principles, and those are to pursue excellence, be exemplary by glorifying God in our efforts, and provide extraordinary leadership. And the N is for the three essentials, the three N essentials: network, net worth, and nurture. The T is for the three T's of a preneur: traits, tenacity, and timing. And then the three R and R's of the preneur, right? Risk-taking preneurs, resilience, and being receptive to constructive criticism. That's what we've discovered so far. And so today we're on the fifth letter in entrepreneur. And now we have another E, right? And so today we're talking about ethic. So E is for ethic, and today's topic is the E of the preneur. And so ethic, this is probably, when it comes to ethics, this is probably one of the most important traits of a great business leader and entrepreneur, is to have strong work ethics, right? Your work ethics can help you build a great reputation as an entrepreneur and a leader, even when you make mistakes. And trust me, you will make many mistakes as an entrepreneur. But a solid work ethic can go a long way. It can go a long way toward helping others to give you a second chance when we make mistakes. And it immediately brought to mind something that I shared over the years as we have been, continuing in this with this call. When I worked at a bank, this was back in the 80s, I was released or fired for something that I didn't do. And so I shared this before, and just the gist of it is that the business community and the community leaders and those that had money in the bank that I was working at came together. They came together on my behalf. And the next thing I knew, I was getting a phone call from the bank offering me an apology along with my job. And the reason I mentioned that is because it wasn't, the thing was, I never did what I was accused of doing at the bank, but for whatever reason, the bank decided to release me. But the business community actually came together, right? Because they knew my work ethic, they knew my reputation, and they knew my level of integrity, right? And so again, it goes a long way when it comes to having a good work ethic. So by definition, a work ethic is a set of values that affects how you handle your responsibilities and how seriously you can take your work. It's that intangible quality that demonstrates a determination to do the best job possible and doing the right things, regardless of whether someone's watching you or not, or whether you get credit for it or not. A person who demonstrates ethical behavior or have good work ethics has evidence of a strong moral code, right? And they have a consistent set of values. And ethical behavior applies to employees, team leads, supervisors, staff, independent contractors. It applies in all areas, and it has an effect on your company's morale and client relations. And so when you have a good moral code, it impacts a lot of people because it's about displaying a behavior that is honest and fair in your relationships. your relationships with coworkers, with your relationships with customers, your relationships with your clients. And it goes a long way. It's a reputation for having positive ethical behavior. And this entices more potential clients to your business, right? And they will more likely want to work with you because you have good ethical behavior. And over time, it can create a loyal customer base that is likely to refer other business to you. And so when we look at ethics and ethical behavior, we're really talking about integrity and honesty and responsibility and accountability. And when we look at it from a scriptural standpoint, we see that it's clear that this is a very important attribute. In fact, Colossians 3:23-25 states, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving." Another translation says, "Work heartily." Yet another translation says, "Work willingly." And then the Amplified Bible says, it adds, "from the soul." And then there's a similar concept that's shared in Ephesians 6, verses 7 and 8. It says, "Serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord, not men, because you know that the Lord will reward everyone for whatever good he does, whether he is slave or free." We are to always put forth our best efforts, not do things half-heartedly, but to work from our heart and our soul in whatever we do, because we're accountable. We're accountable to God as stewards of our gifts, the gifts that he's given us, right? And I love how it's stated in Proverbs 6, verses 6-11. It says, "Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provision in summer and gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a bandit, and scarcity like an armed man." And a lot of people think that's about being lazy or being a habitual procrastinator, right? And I used to think that too when I first read it. But that's only part of it. This really is more about integrity, because the ant doesn't have an overseer, but still the ant is consistent in what the ant does. The ant still stores its provision in summer and gathers its food in harvest time. And he still works the same way, even when no one is watching. There are no shortcuts and no half-hearted efforts. And then in Ecclesiastes 9:10, it says, "Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might." And we see here that there's a strong work ethic that's confirmed with warnings when it comes to slackness. Work is an integral part of our lives, right? And it is essential. This is an essential attribute. And so when we look at our work ethics, this is something that we have to look at it from Scripture and look at it from our work. We have to look at it from all areas of our lives, right? And so when we look at this as a God-given gift, right, we look at it as something that God has given us and something that it can be treasured, right? And not only that, a good work ethic is a witness to others, right? The world takes notice of our efforts and wonders why we do what we do. One of our community members shared a video of a lady who is a crossing guard, right? And that woman sings and dances the entire time she's working. She is constantly spreading joy and laughter while helping those kids cross the streets. And this is something that we can all learn from an example like that. And really all I'm saying is that we're called to have strong work ethic and honor him in everything that we do. So the next time we're together, we'll cover the P as we continue in the series of the entrepreneur. I hope today's wisdom has inspired you in your entrepreneurial journey. That is our prayer. Remember to go to wisdominspired.net for previous episodes, subscribe, and leave us a review. With that said, meet us back on the line. Mondays and Thursdays, same place, same time, same station with more Wisdom Inspired. Have an amazingly productive day. I hope you enjoyed the episode of Wisdom Inspired that was brought to you by the AAC Co-working Community, a virtual community designed to support female entrepreneurs, business owners, and freelance professionals. For more, go to wisdominspired.net.